For instance, Nina is more of a sunset girl, nature. She's like, oh, this is so beautiful. But me, you're not gonna catch me being like, oh, this is so beautiful. I'm just gonna be sitting there just like looking. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Kairika Rashid Show, and I'm so glad you decided to come back for more. So what's up? What's up? Low key, maybe high key, by the time this episode comes out, it's gonna be New Year, the New Year. So I'm gonna say Happy New Year's Eve, Happy New Year. I'm gonna say that. I probably, by the time this come out, played another game. What else? I'm okay looking rough today. What else? I don't know. I don't know about the little baby stuff, but the big stuff, your girl just got back from Italy. Yeah. What? Italy. For 8 days with Bestie. Hey, Nina girl. And it was my first real vacation. Like 8 days in Italy. Did you ever think you were going to Italy? Who would have thought? God did, but not me. You know what I'm saying? Like first real vacay. And people might be like, I mean, but you've been traveling, you done been to all these different places, but it's always hasn't had an attachment to it. So that's really what's up, and that's really what we're gonna get into today. We reflecting on my first real vacay. So what had happened was, like I said, this was my first real vacation at 24 years old. Like when you really think about it, that's low key, maybe high key, that's low key, maybe high key, like blessed at 24. I'm just traveling to these different places that I never seen before. And every time I've traveled, it's been like basketball or school wise. Like I've traveled to various places within the US. All of them had to do with basketball, except for like one time when I met President Obama, low-key flex, in DC. That had to do with like school / like the arts. You know what I'm saying? Like, couldn't really describe. That was like, we were entered in like a film contest. And so that's the other reason why I traveled. And then like my first time out of the country, me, don't get mad, but I don't count Canada. I don't count Canada because it happened when I was like young. I might have been in like middle school. I don't really remember what happened. It's not like I really seen too much was going on. And it just felt like we was down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from Oregon. We just drove up and we was there. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe I'll count Canada later if I actually like go visit and like see stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I did go to Canada when I was younger. But to me, that don't count. So my first time out of the country was going to Ireland. And that had to do with basketball. So every time I booked a flight, or every time a flight's been booked for me, it had basketball attached to it. This was the first time that I ever just booked a flight, and it was gonna be strictly vibes, bro. Straight vibes, straight, hey, whatever you into, whatever you trying to get into, you trying to get active, you trying to rest, whatever your vibe is. It came about because me and Nina, if you don't know, now you know, Bestie. So I'm just gonna be saying her name. So me and Nina, we've talked about like doing a girls trip. Like, I think ever since we graduated, but also like we talked about it briefly in college, and like the most we've ever done together was like play basketball, like traveling wise. But like we took a trip to LA, but like it's LA, you know what I'm saying? That's like down the street as well. You feel me? So this was the first time. And I was like, oh shit, like I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm scared, but I'm doing it. And now that I did it, we finna, like, I'm ready to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Fun fact about my friend, my best friend, this girl, yeah. So she's the itinerary girl. She might think I'm lying. I feel like I could do it, but it's just not me. She gets in the driver's seat literally and figuratively when it comes to, okay, we finna go here, 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 here. Now, she didn't been to Italy before, you know, in her lifetime, recently as well, to where it's like, she know what she doing. So in my head, I'm like, hey man, whatever you want to plan, you write that down. And if I want to go somewhere specifically, I'll let you know. So she done created this whole document, God bless her, fully planned out. She also there before me. So she's there before me. She get her own time by herself. Then I come, and then I also leave before her. But she planned out this whole thing, the navigations, how to figure it out and all that. It just, to me, it seemed like it just come like so easy, to like a blink of an eye to her. To me, it seems very complicated. I don't know what's going on. So I give her kudos. I give her a hand clap for everything that she figured out. And I'm like, I've also made it clear, I don't know on here, that I don't feel like I'm a travel girly who's gonna do it by herself right now. That could change, but I don't think I can do it because everything that we did, I'm not doing that by myself. So shout out to her for that too, because I'm like, no, that's not my vibe. Like, I feel like when I travel, I want to travel with friends. I eventually want to travel with like a group of friends, like that type of vibe. Like why did I get married? But not with all the drama. You know what I'm saying? Not all the extracurricular activities. But like, you know, that group, or even girls trips, a movie like that. So before I got there, I don't think it really hit me until I got to Italy, to where I was reflecting on how, like, damn, I ain't never did this shit before. Like, I ain't never been to Italy, but I ain't never been on a vacation, bro. Like, this shit is different. So I don't really know how to act. Now, I wasn't acting crazy, but I also just, like, I just literally didn't know how to act. Like, I didn't have that much of a, I guess, an opinion on where to go and what to do. Because like I said, Nina was more in the driver's seat. She had things she wanted to do more specifically than I did. And I'm just there like, I guess, taking it all in. I'm just trying to take it all in, and I guess I didn't have the words for it when I was there. So what's inspiring this episode and like the whole recap is that I think one of the days, I don't remember, I believe Nina and I were like walking or something, and she asked me, have I ever been in awe of anything, or like ever? And I'm like, yeah, but as expressive as a person I can be, I feel like there are a lot of things or like moments where I internalize it more than I'm outwardly expressive. So if, for instance, Nina is more of a sunset girl, nature, she's like, oh, this is so beautiful. But me, you're not gonna catch me being like, oh, this is so beautiful. I'm just gonna be sitting there just like looking, you know what I'm saying? To where maybe it could appear that I don't give a fuck, but that is not the case. It's not the case. I just don't have that outwardly expression for it. I'm just taking it in. I just take things in. And I think that is the vibe I was on damn near the whole trip, because I don't know, man, that's just how I am. And that's just how it was in the moment. Like, I wasn't like, oh, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. So I'm basically gonna take you through the 3 So after she asked me that question, let me backtrack. After she asked me that question of, have I ever been in awe and things, I decided to take mental note of the things that provided me with that emotion on this trip. So for me, I got 3 things. And we're gonna get into it. So the first thing, and I believe I'm doing this in order. Nina and I were walking at this point because we were in Italy, but we was in various parts. We started in Rome, we ended in Rome. In this specific first awe moment, we were in Amalfi and along the Amalfi coast. And we were just like walking, we were seeing, we ate, we did all the stuff, like normal stuff. And I said to her, because I believe she asked me about being in awe beforehand. And I was watching her like, look at postcards or like going to these shops and and this and that. And like, I just say, Nina, like, I feel like I haven't been like really drawn or connected to anything. That's why I don't like just want to just get stuff or just like, you know what I'm saying? Like just do stuff and just grab stuff just because like I'm in Italy. I'm like, oh, this says Italia on it. Let me just get it. You know what I'm saying? Or this postcard, like I just didn't want to do that. And I don't tend to do that. So I was just like, I ain't been drawn to nothing like to where I just want to get something. But I feel like if something did call out to me, then I'd do it. And I said that to her and she was like, I get that. Because also when it comes to gifts, I'm not really a gift person, whether it's like receiving or giving, just because that's not how I grew up and that's what I took from it. Like, it's just, I'm appreciative of a gift, but gift giving is like, oh, it really throws me for a loop at times. But, yeah. So I say this to her, she says, I get that. But God, it's only God, y'all. It's got to be God. As we're walking, look to the left. All I can see, I'm like, what is that? I turn, it looks like a bunch of like, stationery, journals, pens, artwork. This is my jam. I don't know what it is fully, but I go, let's go in there. Mind you, this whole trip, I've been vibing, I've been going with the flow because I don't know what to expect. I don't have certain expectations. I'm riding the wave, you know what I'm saying? And if I felt like I wanted to insert myself, then I would. Now, was this irritating to Nina at times? Yes. But that's just what it was for me, G. That's just what it was. This is one of the times where I inserted myself because I seen something that I could potentially be drawn to. So lo and behold, we go in there. It's just what I see. Beautiful, like very intimate, small. It's giving like, I don't know, like library, like bookstore vibes. But let me read the name. It's called, or this place was called Tabula Carta di Amalfi Handmade Paper Shop. So this was a handmade paper shop. And I don't know if y'all did this, but when I was younger, we made paper. So there's like a lot of, we did it in elementary school. We made paper, you gotta do water to wash and and all that stuff. So we made paper, you gotta do water to wash and and all that stuff. So it brought me back a little bit. I'm like, oh shoot. So the lady who owns it, her name was Emma, I believe. I hope I'm saying all this right. Her name is Emma, and she was a 3rd generation owner, and it was passed down to her by her grandfather. She had a picture of her and her grandfather in the corner, and it was like a small little box. You know what I'm saying? So she's taking us through it. She's showing us all the stuff. Like, she barely, Italian, so she spoke mostly Italian, but she spoke a little bit of English. So we're communicating. She's telling us, she's opening up the journals, touching the paper. She's like, yeah, this is completely handmade paper. We make this ourselves. So I'm like, this is my jam. This is my jam. And I say it was only God, because I literally had just said, ain't nothing, I ain't been drawn to nothing yet. And then we immediately walk up on this handmade paper store. Be for real. So then I'm looking at the journals. She got bookmarks, all this stuff, like just a bunch of stuff in there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm getting something, definitely. And I don't care how much it costs, because this is like one of them wholesome moments. Like, it's like a nice local store owner with history. She ran down her whole story. She's like showing us around, like very good experience. So then on top of that, she got these like little, you know, like wax back in the day. So she's making like wax, like, I don't know how to describe it, but you know, when they put on the book and then they smash the wax and then they put like an indentation or something on it. I don't know what that's called, but they doing that, and she could put my initials on it. So I'm looking, I'm like, well, I have been talking about, I need a journal. So I grabbed me a journal. Favorite color is blue. Love all shades of blue. My favorite color is really like a turquoise / teal, if we're being honest. It's like in the logo, it's in everything. So I grabbed like a more regular blue, if you will, journal with the handmade paper with a nice little wrap around. I'm gonna show y'all eventually. And she's like, yeah, I can do the little wax thing and like make it personalized. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, we ball. Give me the wax thing. What color? What color do I see? My turquoise? Give me that. Stamp that thing on there. So we didn't recorded her, watched her. She do the whole little thing. She melted. She melt the wax on there. Melt the wax. And then stamp my initials KR in it. Then do like a whole, like she outlined it in like gold. And I'm like, this is real cute. Real cute. Great experience. Personalized journal. Like, what more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's like a wax stamp. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what it's called. But this was my first awe moment, because it's like, I'm into the writing. I'm into the artsy vibe. Like, I'm into the history of like where people come from, how things come about. So I want to know your story. And someone I would like for people to know my story, and to be able to just be around her, see her joy, see her story, the history. It was just like, it was very wholesome, and that was my first moment. And then as we were leaving, this guy was like, yeah, it's the best store in town or something. And he was also a part of the family business as well. And we got to know him a little bit, and I'm like, this is just God. It could only be. Okay, so that was my first awe moment. My second awe moment, I'm gonna call it like the sit by the Mediterranean Sea, right? I'm a West Coast kid, by the Pacific Ocean, right? By the Pacific Ocean. But when I tell you, I ain't never been around the Mediterranean Sea, and I ain't seen no water like that. So it's another day, another vibes. We're walking, we're in a smaller town. We had left Amalfi at this point. We had left, we're walking, stop into like this diner style vibe. I try like this coffee with this special liqueur in it. I think that's how to, liqueur, not liquor, liqueur. And so easy to access to it. So we had walked down, and there was like rocks or whatever, but they suggested don't go over there because you know. So then we go back around. There's like these big stairs, and then there's rocks where I could like pretty much climb down, if that makes sense, as close as I want it to be. So I'm sitting on the edge, like push me to the edge. Like I'm sitting on the edge of these rocks, and he was like, okay, guy, like be careful, because the water is right there. The water is right there, y'all. And if I wanted to jump in, like I could have jumped in. You know what I'm saying? Like in America, it's like the access to that water was like, so it felt different to me. Like the access to it, like I'm literally right here. I think I'm like in a trance, like I'm in a daze. The water was also my turquoise / teal color. So I'm like, this is like mesmerizing. But I'm like, those are things I'm internalizing in the moment. So I'm not really saying no words. I'm just looking at it and I'm just getting closer. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting closer to the water. And, you know, you just listening to the waves, just nothing but silence. Like, that's really what's happening. And the water and the ripples and the waves, you know, at the beginning of the movies, like, what movie? Like Moana or like Avatar, where it's like animated and they're like starting the movie going over the water. Or it's like, you know, oh wait, it's right over, you right over the water. That's what it looked like. But it was real. It was in person. So I'm like, this looked fake, but it's real. It's fake, but it's real. So I'm sitting on the edge and I'm just looking out. Nina goes over, she's looking out, she's taking photos. And I'm just sitting there. I'm just looking, I'm like, who would have thought? And I start praying and talking to God. Now, I don't remember really what I was saying, but it had to be around like, who would have thought you did? God, look at you. Look at all this stuff like I'm seeing. Yeah, like look, that's what, you know, I'm stuttering trying to say the words because I just don't have the words. I'm like, God, like I'm thankful, I'm grateful. I never would have thought that I'd be here. Like in Italy, like be for real. Be for real. And like, I'm sitting there thinking like when I was younger and I had all these dreams and these visions of living a successful life, getting out of my situation, doing this, and that. Never once did I think it had to do with me going overseas or being in Italy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. So I just started talking to God. Nina actually captured a video of me, I didn't know. And you could see that I'm like talking. And I'm like, what? Like this is something. I'm like, I'm sitting by the Mediterranean Sea and I'm talking to God. If that ain't blessed, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Because who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? Like, who would have thought? Not me. Not me. And I'm just here on my free will. I'm just here because I want to be. It's so crazy. Like, I don't have a full description for you, but that is a moment where I was in awe. And then Nina came and she sat by me and we both sat on the rocks in silence. And I said to her, like, of the sorts, like, you know, trying to get her to understand I do have awe. And, you know, I think stuff looks nice. I think it's beautiful. But a lot of times the way I express it is more internal. Like, I don't have the outwardly. I don't have, you know, I'm not like, oh my God, like I just don't have that. A lot of times it's just, I'm just taking it in, I'm reflecting and I'm observing. And that's how it comes off because I don't got it. It like, and there are rare occasions where I am outwardly expressive with that, like that shit beautiful, like, but it's not very often. And I don't know, that's how I really felt in that moment. Like I didn't have no words. It was just silent. It was peaceful. You just hearing the waves, the birds. It's like, I was thinking of the song like Ocean Views by Nipsey Hussle. I was thinking of Larry June's, is it Summer Rain? I don't know, but, or is it like Oceans? It's something with the ocean where he just got the ocean playing in the back. And I'm like, they got it playing in the back, but I'm really here. Like, if I wanted to do a song with the Ocean Views remix, I could do that right now. I just need to put my phone out and record the sounds. these are literally and figuratively uncharted waters for me and family members who have come before me, and even the family members right now. Like, the only other person, if I'm correct, who's been out the country has been my brother, and he went to Ghana, but he never been to Italy. Like, no, none of them been to Italy. And like, to see the stuff that I'm seeing to come where I'm come from, it's like a lot of like, damn, bitch, you here. You really here. Bitch, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have nothing, but bitch, I'm here. And thank you, God, because I'm here. So that's all number 2. And the last awe moment that I like really took note of is we went to this small town called, let me see, Ostuni. I hope I'm pronouncing Ostuni. And we signed up for a cooking class. And I don't know what I expected. I don't think I've ever taken like a real cooking class. I don't know what I expected. Maybe I expected to be like in like, you know, a chef kitchen doing that, you know, like that type of vibe. But no, y'all, small town. This place, because we went, what is it? Is it winter? It's winter. It's really quiet over there. Like, not too much is really going on. We pull up, it's this lady's like land. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's her stuff behind a little gate. She got so much like, just like land. She got her house, a bed and breakfast, like this whole art thing. I don't know. She don't speak a lick of English either. A lick of English. So me and Nina arrive, and Nina's doing like her phone translator thing, having it speak, and then the lady's doing it back to her, and it's just this whole vibe. And I'm just like, you know, really just doing it because Nina know a little bit. She know a little bit of Italian and can understand some, but it was just like a different experience with the language barriers to like really communicate. But we did it. So that was something that I was internalizing as well. Like, we really out here having conversations with different languages. She takes us around, shows us her bed and breakfast, where it's like a bunch of art. So her family is like artsy. Her husband is a carpenter. Her daughter plays guitar and does music. Her bed and breakfast is full of like art supplies and stuff. There's like handmade plates and all this stuff. So I'm like, this is my jam too. Got a bunch of land, like where they grow their own stuff, I feel like. And she showed us it. And then her husband comes in, he's talking to us. And a lot of times I'm just sitting there, I feel like looking stupid because I don't know what they talking about. And Nina's kind of playing translator sometimes as well. And then I insert myself and I'm like, do you think that understanding Spanish is easier than trying to understand English? So I asked that in like the translator thing, and then they immediately nod, because the whole time, y'all, the whole time I was there in Italy, my ass kept wanting to speak Spanish. And I ain't never like really got a chance to like really use my Spanish, except for a couple times at my little job that I had once or twice, but like I ain't really used it. They be talking about, they be like, ciao, or that's like hello and bye. My ass wanna be like, hola, hola. Or like, to say thank you, it's grazie. Nina gonna be like, you're not pronouncing it right. It's grazie. And my ass be like, gracias. Gracias. So it'll be stuff like that where I just immediately want to respond back in Spanish, because I'm like, oh, this ain't the lingo, girl. That ain't the lingo either. So when I asked them that, they shook their head yes. I immediately start speaking Spanish. I'm like trying to talk to them in Spanish. Now, they didn't understand everything, but they started to understand stuff, because there's a lot of words that are similar, like the one, well, like thank you similar, or they use por, and it's like I'm like, oh, this is a vibe. The daughter wasn't there yet. So I'm speaking in Spanish, Nina's speaking in English and a little bit of Italian, and they speaking Italian, and we having a combo. The daughter is the only one who speaks English. The daughter comes in. She's speaking English and Italian. She's being the translator. We're getting to know each other. I'm like, damn, this is like really wholesome. Like, we're having a conversation. I'm like, I ain't using my Spanish for real, but like, I'm really using my Spanish right here in a different country. So I low-key might be better than I think I am at Spanish because I was getting my point across. So then we go through, we make 2 types of pasta. We make a tiramisu. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is so intimate. Like we are in their house, I believe. Well, we in their stuff. That's all I'm saying. We in their stuff. We ain't in no chef's kitchen. We in their stuff. Making homemade pasta. I ain't never used a pasta, homemade pasta maker before. Homemade tiramisu. And I'm like comparing it to MasterChef because I went on a binge of MasterChef. And I'm like, oh my God, on MasterChef, they be so stressed. Like, what is they stressed about? The pasta be coming out dry. Like, it's a vibe in here. Now, I still think on MasterChef would be stressful. But when she taught me, I was like, oh, I could do this. Like, I really could do this. And it was like a whole intimate process. And she was taking us through it. Then the husband/dad would jump in a little bit here and there, and then the daughter would translate what she would say. And I'm like, we really up in here making stuff, and we don't speak no Italian for real, and they don't speak no English, but we really we're meshing. We're here. So then we sit down. I don't expect this part. Like, I'm telling you, I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect to sit down like a family and dish up. We dished up first course of pasta. I think we made tortellini. Second was like a linguine. Then we had the tiramisu. And we having wine and stuff too. I'm like, oh, this is really family style, really wholesome. And I'm just like, I didn't expect this. But I'm feeling like really like warm inside. I'm like, oh, this is so cute. Like, we're having wine and it's like the first time they're like, come on, more wine. Eat more if you want more. In Italian, of course. Then the daughter's translating to them. They saying stuff to her. She's saying stuff to us. I'm talking in Spanish. She talking to English. Nina talking to English. She using a little bit of Italian. They using Italian. I'm like, this, like, communication is so crazy. The fact that we was conversing, we was having lunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it, together. We was communicating over a meal in different languages. And I was using Spanish. I'm up in there using Spanish. That was wholesome for me. I was in awe of that because I'm like, one, I'm actually pretty cool at Spanish. Now, I might doubt myself. I don't know. I just really ain't been in the area where I had to, put it on. And I was putting it on. I'm like, oh, you really might be good at this. And then just the fact that we was really all like invested in talking to each other and getting to know each other in this short span of time. So, yeah, that was my 3 all moments. And they really blessed my heart. They really did. So now what? Similar to everything I said before, like, God is still and has continuously blessed me in new and different ways in my life. Did I have Italy just on my board of things to do? No. Like I said, did I ever think? No. That just wasn't, it's just a whole different experience. And it's like, wow, like I did that. Girl, and then like on top of that being like, when you really think about it, this is your first real vacation. You ain't never really taken a vacation. Like, you ain't never taken a vacation, but also just now I just had this thought, like, there are some people who don't get a chance or an opportunity to even do what I'm doing at 24 years old as well. So I'm like, that, but God, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, coming from where I come from, I didn't think I would be here, but God did. But also it's like, there are people to this day that probably ain't, you know, just taking a vacation. And I'm like internally and outwardly grateful to God for that. And I just am like, damn, girl, like, damn. And I think after retelling those stories, I think my like most awe moment was by the Mediterranean Sea, because it was silent, and I do a lot of things in silence now and in quiet, and the fact that it was connected to God. Now, I would say a lot of things. Everything I do is trying to be in connection with God, but it was just the simple fact that it was just silence. It was like, you know, they say like God hears you even when you're not speaking. It's through your actions. It's through emotions. Like, even if you don't have words, like, he's listening. And I feel like, I don't think I prayed that long, but I think in the silence, he seen me. He heard me. He was like, yeah, I feel you, girl. I feel you. I feel you, man. I feel you. So I think that was like my favorite awe moment, which maybe at first I would have thought the journal was, because, you know, I'm a journal girl. I gets down. I do not play about journaling. But like, it was just something about it, just being inside. It's almost like a meditation. Like the way I say I felt like in a trance. I'm like, God heard me, and I ain't really say nothing for real. And my godmom said, when you don't got nothing to say, you can always say thank you. So it's like, thank you, God, because I don't got nothing to say for real. But you know me, you know my heart. Look, I'm pointing heart on both sides. You know my heart. You know me. So it's like that was the one. We done made it to the final segment. So I have a question. I got three today. Question number one, what are you in awe of? This could be in the past, it could be in the present, something that you were in awe of, something you still are in awe of, something recent. What are you in awe of? I'm in awe of what God has done for me in my life and what he's continuing to do. And that's what really, it just like, the whole experience is just like in awe. And I still don't, because I like literally just got back to Ireland. So it's like, yeah, there's just like a lot with that. Question number two, what is an experience that God has shown you or provided to you that you didn't see coming? I hope that makes sense. Like, what experience has God put into your life that you didn't see coming? And I want this to be good ones, because we're on good vibes right now. You know what I'm saying? We're on good vibes. Like, what is one of those experiences that's just wholesome? That's just like, man, that was just one of them ones that you didn't even see coming. It came out of nowhere. A blessing that just came out of nowhere. Let me know. Question three, because I said in the beginning that it's gonna be New Year by the time it's come out, or New Year's Eve, one of them. So what's the New Year vibe? We're going a little bit off course. What's the New Year vibe? Is it New Year, new me? Is it giving that? Is it giving New Year consistency? Ooh, is that a bar? I don't know. Like, is it giving that? What is it giving? Like, is it just building upon what you've already done? Is it, you know, what are we doing in the new year? What are our vibes? Because, like, are we getting back in the gym, or are we still in the gym? We're just adding another skill. Like, what is the vibes? Let me know. Thanks for listening to my story, listening to my first vacation experience. This has been another episode of the Kairika Rashid Show. And I'm so blessed that you and you came back for more, yeah. Yeah. You're gonna love me. Just kidding. Obviously I can't sing, but I low-key ate that. But this has been another episode of Kyrie Rashid Show, and I'm so glad, so blessed, so thankful that you decided to come back tomorrow. Get at me. Pew.